Privates, welcome back, and I have another book review for you. Now, this one is about an autobiography by former UFC fighter, I think U.S. Army Ranger, Green Beret sniper, Tim Kennedy. It's called Scars and Stripes, Unapologetically American. I hope, or not, I hope you guys like the book, but I feel like you guys should read the book. You might be able to learn something from it, but I thought the book was okay, and you'll hear more in this review. If you guys like the series and you like this review, feel free to drop a like down below or possibly share this with a friend. If you're feeling extra generous, go ahead and hit that subscribe button below. As always, stay tuned. Till next time. Okay, so in February, I listened to Scars and Stripes. It was by Tim Kennedy. He's a...
Why are you starting the video of no on it?
Why am I starting a video? I'm starting a video of us. But it... Sorry, he gets loud. It's about his life, and if you didn't know, Tim Kennedy is... He can add author to the list. He's a Green Beret sniper. He's a UFC fighter, a former UFC fighter. He's an entrepreneur. Get your foot off my desk, dude. He's a man with many hats, but the one that he has worn the most is one of a soldier. Leave my headphones alone. So the book wasn't bad, as I am a fan of Tim Kennedy. I know Kyle and Randy will watch this and they'll call me stupid because they think Tim is stupid. I'm scooting away. I will say Tim reading his own book, I was not a fan of it. If you can't do this, you have to get down. Alright, no feet. So I wasn't a fan of, his voice does not fit his body. He's a 220-pound man with a slightly nasally voice, and it just doesn't. He's a 220-pound gorilla, but I wish someone else would have read it. But to each his own. You gotta sit still. One thing I didn't like about the book is he did tend to leave a lot of stories unfinished and unresolved. Especially one time he said that he was in a 3-way or a 4-way with 3 other ring girls when he was fighting, and one of the ring girls came and told him, "Stop, please," while he was training, that she tested positive for HIV, and
Stop.
And
Stop.
He just changed stories.
Stop.
What are we stopping?
Because I am start the video all by myself.
No. Anyway, about me known, but so that was a cliffhanger to say the least. I'm trying to keep him from touching stuff. Hey, no, you don't touch that stuff then. Oh, it's the bubble. Wow.
Hello.
I'm not Dado. But so
You are
but I also understand. All right, out. If you're gonna be loud, you can't be in here. As an author, he can do as he pleases. But I will say, are you gonna be quiet? You can't be loud and quiet. That's an oxymoron, dude. Or a contradiction. Anyway, I will say one thing that he did as an author was he jumped from his youth to adulthood to his teenage years. The timeline for his book was kind of all over the place, and I said I wasn't a fan of it. I did like hearing about his overseas stories and just kind of how what he went through and how that turned him into the man that he is today. The story about him just floating in the Pacific Ocean, essentially attempting suicide, was very interesting. From a man who's done all the things that he's done, was very it kind of interesting to hear, because you'd think someone like that, they kind of have everything together. They're not fighting those types of demons, but it kind of showed that he is, even though he does all these impressive things, UFC fighter, sniper, going through the Q course, and all these things, being a police officer and a firefighter, like I said, a man of many talents, that it just showed the human side of him. And I'd say another thing that I wish would have been in this book is he started his own school called Apogee. I don't know. Apogee. Apogee. He started a school. I think it's just an elementary school right now, where they teach kids how to live off the land, like farm and just do things like that. Be resourceful, not be solely dependent on others. Just how to be self-dependent. And I wish he did talk about him going over to Afghanistan when we pulled out to get translators and their families and people that helped the Americans while we were over there during the War on Terror. But one thing I wish he would have hit on is they use the verse Isaiah 6:8, which is actually, let me pull it up and read it. And I'm always curious if they use the verse out of context. I'm in Numbers. Let me turn Isaiah 6:8. So Isaiah 6:8 says, "And I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Whom shall I send, and who will I go? Then he said, then I said, I being Isaiah, I'm pretty sure I being Isaiah, Here I am, send me. And he said, Go and say to this people," or, alright, so 9 doesn't matter. But 8, no one was really asking, in my opinion, who's going to go save the translators, who's going to go save the people that helped us, other than the ones who were in the military. And I mean, his group said, here I am, here we are, send us. And I think it's great what they did. There was one, like a full bird colonel from Bragg, from the 82nd Airborne, who Tim and a bunch of his people he works with, I think one of the guys was Nick Palmisano, who went with him. They brought like 300 people back. I think even Americans, and if not Americans, they were part of a religion. I can't remember if it was Lutheran or Methodist, but they were there doing mission work when all that happened, and then they were targets, because I don't want to disparage the Muslim religion, but I think that because they were not preaching Muslim truths, I don't want to say truths like they're wrong, but what Muslims to believe is true for their religion, like they were hunted, and this Fulbert colonel, because he had no knowledge of it, he said no, they're not allowed on base, even though everything got cleared. But because it didn't get cleared by him, like that kind of grinded my gears. He did not name the colonel by name, because I bet if he did, that dude would have gotten some flack from veterans, or even people like within his ranks. But Scars and Stripes, like I said, it wasn't a bad book. A lot of things, a lot of stories unfinished or unresolved, and the timeline is all over the place. So if you don't mind that, then it's a good read.
I need to go pee. Daddy,
All right, I'm almost done. All right, my son needs to go pee. That was Scars and Stripes. I'll be back with another book. The next one is The Terminal List.